Business Focus with Kudzie, Sharara on the Champions League Breakfast.
Today's Business Focus is brought to you by ZB Financial Holdings and its unit, ZB Bank, is the first local bank to attain SSCI certification for sustainability.
Good morning and welcome to Business Focus, proudly brought to us by ZB Financial Holdings. As always, we have Kudzie Sharara to discuss. Good morning, Kudzie. How are you?
Good morning, Tinashe. Good morning, everyone.
Great. As always, we begin with our Did You Know segment.
Thank you, Tinashe. So today's one is very simple. Zimbabwe is upscaling and growing its horticulture sector. And there are certain crops or horticulture produce that is making, can I call them making waves? Like your, well, I won't mention the names. But anyway, the question that I want to ask today, there are 3 horticulture products that Zimbabwe can now export to China. There are 3. Yeah, China won't go in this question just because of producer. There are actually trade protocols that have to be signed for you to be able to export to China. So there are now 3 local horticulture products that Zimbabwe can now export to China following trade protocols that were signed between the 2 countries. So those are the 3 that I want to know on our Did You Know, so that you know what to produce. China is one of the biggest markets in the world, in terms of population, and so obviously it's a big market. So if you are to get a chance to export to China, then you are in the money. So 3 horticulture produce that Zimbabwe can export to China.
Yes. So that is our Did You Know segment for today. 3 horticulture products that you can now export to China. Come through on 0719 100 404 with your answers. Just name them 1, 2, 3. Are you following up what's happening in the world of business? Okay, right. All right, but before we get to read out those messages, let's also get to discuss other things. There's a lot that we have had through the media. Business deals coming. What's the latest with Dangote?
Thank you. So yes, Dangote is coming to Zimbabwe for the second time around. He's coming on Wednesday, as reported, and it's interesting, Tinashe, that he's coming back, especially after coming in for the first time and deals didn't go through. I understand when he came, he left frustrated. When he came the first time around, he left frustrated, and the deals that we thought were going to come into fruition didn't come through. So now he's coming back, and for someone like him, I remember about 2 or 3 years ago, Tinashe, we were in Egypt at the IATF, the trade fair that is hosted by or bankrolled by African Bank, and Dangote was one of the speakers, and he mentioned one country where he said that country requires a visa for someone to travel to that country. So Dangote had not gone through the visa processes, but his team did. And when they got to the airport, his team were allowed to come in, and he wasn't. And yet he was the one with the billions. They also no, you don't have a visa. You can't come into the country. And he said he has never gone back to that country again. So for Zimbabwe, for that deal, the deals that collapsed when he came earlier, some years back, for him to be convinced to come back to Zimbabwe, I think it speaks volumes about those who convinced him to come back this time around. I'm sure they would have put up a strong case for Zimbabwe for him to come back, and that's so kudos to the team at I know some of the team, Bad Santana, that's Sezwani Sikosana, who is the chief executive officer at Bad Santana, who is one of the people that facilitated the coming into Zimbabwe of Mr. Dangote. So yeah, let's see what sort of deals that he is going to come through with. He's into cement. if I was the owner of Kaya, Kaya, our former Lafarge, former
Kaya Cement,
yes, it hasn't been doing well. Instead of him going to a brownfield, or I would offer him a Kaya Cement if I was the owner.
A partnership.
Yes, I would offer it, or even an outright sell, because the most of the things are there, so it's just a matter of upgrading. He's also into sugar. I would offer him some land in Tokyo because there, so that he produces sugar. There's been a sugar producers in Zimbabwe. There's been a love-hate relationship between Zimbabwe and the sugar producers, and I think it's good. It's good that I would offer him some land. Water is there already. Takaisa zidemu rinotyisa risatira kuve fully utilized. I would offer him that as well. But also I understand that he's also into coal power production. Nigeria and oil refinery. Here maybe he can put up another power plant so that we produce more power. We still have the coal. Yes, the environmental issues, but I think we still have that resource, and we should be able to produce from there. So yeah, it will be interesting. Cement yake anogadzira kuZambia kuti inosvika muno muZimbabwe kuma $6, $7. So if he's to come in and put up a cement power plant,
competition is health.
Competition is health. And that one takamataura ma plant I think takamataura last week ma plant cement azara muno muZimbabwe. Yeah, so I'm happy that the team at Pat Santana and obviously the CEO there, Senzwan Skosana, as well as Josima Hachi, some of the people that said to have brought him back. I think they did a fantastic job to convince him to come back to Zimbabwe. There must be something in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, there must be something.
For the Africa's billionaire to agree to come, yes.
Yeah, kana yakutotora kuti andiri kudzokera futi. Even ndakamboramba hazvo pandiri kudzokera. It means he still has got interest into that.
Into that, yes.
All right, so right now we are joined on the line by Mr. Alan Deda, but to help us understand more other things that we also want to understand right here on Business Focus. Good morning to you, Alan.
Hi, morning. How are you?
Yes,
good.
Yes. So Mr. Alan Deda Tinashe is the head of sales at ZB Life. So when you're talking of ZB, like we said the other time, that they were various units. They are into banking, they are into asset management, they are also into insurance, they are also into property. And Alan is the head of sales at ZB Life, which is the life insurance side for ZB. So Mr. Deda, let's talk about there's this the Community Health Equity Fund, which is a community-led health financing initiative that ZB launched in Harare in collaboration with the city of Harare and others. So we want to talk about that one. Life is known for providing insurance and protection solutions. How is your division contributing to this particular deal of Community Health Equity Fund that you signed with the Harare City Council?
Thank you. How ZB Life is coming through is by providing a micro insurance solution. I'll just explain a bit about micro insurance. Insurance by nature in a mainstream where every other person can go in, but with the lower end of the market, but we want kupindawo imomo mchikava vamo. So we are coming through a ZB Life today on the SHIFT program with this macro insurance solution through the ZB cash funeral plan, which has been priced so low, that hakuna munhu anosara asiri covered. So that's how we're coming in and save to ensure that there's no person, there's no family that will not be covered. And we're saying we need to stay gone are the days that we need a pop-up burials because one washa zvikwanisiro zvekushandisa. So in summary, that's how we're coming into SHIFT to support the initiative and ensure that everyone is in.
Yeah, so Tinashe, you see, it was the chef you guys, the chef ratio. Of course, it's Community Health Equity Fund, and then in short, it's chef. I think the chef. Let me tell you something that they are doing with this particular one. And kanochenda ku clinic, and especially Harare City, unosko badara mari, yokutoya kuzorapwa.
Yes.
But with this one, they are saying instead of paying user fees at the point of service. Residents prepay a small annual contribution. And it, for example, $2 per year. After a $1 registration, $2 per year. After $1, ukasvika clinic wakutobatsirwa uchanzitanga wabhadhara mari kuti ubatsirwe. So let's come back to you, Mr. Deda. So the community buy-in is critical for chef's success. From a sales and outreach perspective, how are you engaging residents to participate?
Yeah, so true. There's no way that you carry out a community-based program without involving the same community. So for us, in order for the initiative to be successful, we are engaging all stakeholders, in communities. These are, your public office holders, like our councillors, our MPs, with, residents associations. I think you've heard the impact that these associations have in our communities. We also have, leaders, our opinion leaders in the form of my pastors. We also have, every community has my schools. So we have our headmasters and teachers in the same communities. So our trust is to say, once we have everyone involved, it also, by implication, means that the level of accountability for chefs goes up. And once there is accountability, you find the balance easier. Because when people hold you to account, then the program, whatever you're doing, becomes sustainable. So for us, we believe that involving communities makes, the program sustainable through accountability.
That's interesting there, Alan, and thank you so much for coming through to Business Focus. He's the head of sales at ZB Life, and one thing I liked about this program, Alan, is that last week when we started with ZB, we were talking about issues of ESG, and I think this is one of those things where you're making an impact in the communities that you do business in, and this is something that the world is now looking at to say, when businesses are operating, what sort of impact are they having on people, on the planet, and on people. I think with this particular one, you have done wonders. So thank you so much for taking your time to be with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
So that's something that you need to also be part of. Tiworongoti dollar rako chete register, then $2 per year. Ukutokwanisa kuenda kuchipatara uchitorapwa in everything. Wow, thanks to ZB. We appreciate it. 4 minutes up before the news at 8 a.m. is our time. It is Business Focus. Let's go back onto our Did You Know segment. The question for today was, what are the 3 horticulture products that can now be exported to China? Let's go on our WhatsApp platform.
Let me mark my answers.
Yeah, but this one says citrus, avocados, and blueberries. This one just said blueberries is one of them. Where are the other 2? Marshall from Aspindale says citrus fruits, avocados, and blueberries. That's another one. This one says from Vikela in Australia. I say that blueberries, avocados, and macadamia nuts can be exported to China. Let's go back. All right. Most of the answers are coming through as citrus, avocados, and blueberries.
I think that's, in fact, that's the correct answer. The citrus, avocados, and blueberries, those are the ones that we can now legally export to China.
Kudzie, you're saying that now we can. It means that all this long we were not able to export them to China.
And just a few years ago, if it's not 3 or so years ago, that's when citrus was now allowed to go into China. And then and now in September this year, that's when they said we can now export our blueberries. And it's a sector that has been growing. And just last week, I think there was a conference where players in the horticulture sector were actually looking for funding. They want to grow our exports, our horticulture exports to 2.5 billion, and these are some of the initiatives. They're actually looking for around close to $1 billion that they are looking for. So there are players in that sector who want to expand their operations, but they're saying we need capital, and you need patient capital for you to do that. Because if I'm not mistaken, it takes a few years for a macadamia plant, for example, to start producing, and then you can export. I think
you need to be patient.
So you need patient capital as well for you to be able to do that. Yes.
So in terms of Kudzie, Pama blueberries, why is it that they are not very popular locally?
Yeah, I think it's a product or a produce that we were not accustomed to. But from those who know blueberries, they'll tell you that this is actually one line that the CEO of Zimtrade always tells the world, and he promises to people to say, if you taste Zimbabwean blueberries and you think there's any other blueberry that is better than Zimbabwean blueberries in terms of taste, he says, I don't know what anengari ekupi, but he always says kuti ukatongori taste chete ukanzwa richinaka chete
in Zimbabwe.
Ndere ku Zimbabwe.
Wow,
yes.
love that.
So yeah, we should maybe try them, and you can also do do juice, blueberry juices. So that's another area that you can also go into and start producing the juice aspect. That's value addition. So instead of just sending out the fruits out, you can just produce blueberry juices.
Okay, just briefly, could the time media what is the latest with OK Zimbabwe?
Yeah, so for OK Zimbabwe, they released their financials for the year end to March, which means my results akabuda musi Friday. Ndo my results team reya rakazonza ngatimbochinja management. So no my results awo akashowa kuti revenue was down by 52%. They made a loss of 25 million.
Wow.
Yes. So Doma results a team yakaenda because yakaenda muna February anditi. So Willard Zrieva and his team wakazongoita 1 month kusvika end of March.
All right, so let's hold it there and we'll discuss more in detail about it OK Zimbabwe tomorrow. Thank you, Kudzie, for Business Focus, brought to us by ZB right here on Capital.
Today's Business Focus was brought to you by ZB Financial Holdings, driving sustainability through agriculture, financial inclusion, and sustainable infrastructure.